So take more white, a tiny touch of black because the stance is more light color we have. So we need to make a light grayish color. And black is so strong. Because of that, we need to little by little add black into our white, not to see very huge change. And when you're happy, then you can keep your paint aside. This is a nice light color that we need for the stance. And it's a little bit darker when we come around the left and right, and even on the floor, the ground as well, a little bit darker. And the trees is too dark. So 3 level of gray I want to make. This is the lightest. The second one, a little more black, I'm going to mix with my white to make a little darker. Something in between, not much dark, not much light. So it's easy when you little by little add your black into your white and see what happened to your mixture. So I'm happy, then I can leave it aside, be ready. This is the second color of gray. And the third one is something close to this tree trunk on the stance. The front is too dark, that's black. But here is a little bit darker. So this time I use very less white, more black. It gives me darker gray. So 3 level of gray. And it depends how much paint you want to premix. If you want more amount, you need to add more. I'm going to separate top from the bottom. It's easier to have an idea. I'm going with the lighter tone, even we can go with a little darker tone, that's fine. Because it's acrylic, you can cover it easily by the new paint. So I separate the top part from the bottom part. Left and right, it's like an arc, is more darker. So we can move on with this color, with darker color. And I'm going top to bottom. It's okay left and right, but I prefer to go with the darker tone, mid-tone actually gray. This is on the center, medium paint. Start with this part. Something in between because this is darker and the first one is lighter. So start with that, then move on with the lighter gray that you premix. And the reason is I'm not going the other side and then on center at the light because I want to disappear light to dark. You see here, there is no line in between now. When the darker tone is a little bit wet, when you bring the new color on top, they mix very well together and disappear into each other, so blend together nicely. Make it dry and then start with the lighter color. Take some heavy paint. Start from the center. Here, back and forth with right and left brush stroke like that to cover it.
Which gray was this?
With this one, the first color, the first gray that you make, like the lightest one. And even on top, we can bring the pure white color, because here we have a lots of white color. It's so bright. We can have pure white color and then add on top of the gray to make it a little bit lighter, more. And then come a little more toward the center. Then switch to darker gray from the right side or left, doesn't matter which part. When both sides is wet, they can easily mix together like that, and then help it disappear. When you want to help two colors blend or mix together, you need to use less pressure in your hand and very gently loose your hand a little bit and very gently touch this line in between and let it move into each other. Even it's okay, because I'm going on top with a darker blacky color and cover it. If it's not blend together, would be okay. Don't worry about that. Then move on to the right side, left side, and the same repeat. Try a little bit blend, but not come to the center. If you feel that you are coming to the center, bring back the lighter tone on the edge. And even pure white color again. Gray, I'm going to start adding the colors here. And it's okay if you leave it like that, fade, or even be strong. That's fine. Make sure we want to make the road to the stance. And I'm going to move on a little further, make it narrow here. Just would like to play with this road. Make it a little bit like come down, more curvy here. Again, go inside, then come out more. And then again, back inside, like a triangle shape here. And then you can see you would like to make it closer on the stance or less. I'm happy, I think it's nice. I'm going to start adding the right or left, it doesn't matter which one. But it's better this part get dry completely. Mine is still wet. So we can use hair dryer, or I will go buy heavy paint on top. If I want to draw tree trunk, it depends on the size of the tree you want. You can leave your brush like that. Draw the line top to bottom. But my tree is not really thick. I prefer to go straight like this. Draw one like the V shape on top like that, and then come down toward here. I want to place it till here. So then I can make it always, I can make it thicker anytime. Tree trunk is not really straight, it's okay. You can move it, shape it a little bit like this part off, or go with the thickness of your brush, that's fine. Then come down. You see when it's wet, it's come with the dark black with the grayish color mixed together. So I have to wait this part get dry completely, then bring the dark color. Or the other way is go with really heavy paint on top and cover it. This is the darker tree that shows is close to us, and this is the longer one. Even when you come reach here, you can make it like bigger. Then leave it get dry. The darker one help us to place the rest easier. We have another dark on the right side, which is divided by one long branch from top to bottom. The other from here. These are all the same tree, but it has a different long branches. Then connect here together and come down. It's not with the same level of the other, so a little bit higher than that. We can mention about it. So let me add more paint. I play with my brush stroke to make hold the brush from top to bottom to shape the tree, or with the side of the brush like this, make it a little narrow, come down. Like that. And even this long tree trunk, this long branch connect to this. So it's really thick. I love heavy paint, and I'm going to use really thick paint on my paper, palette, canvas, wood, or any surface I work. So it takes really time to get dry. But if you want to draw faster, you can use hair dryer. And then easily we can move on, like one here. And all the trees that we draw is shorter and a little bit narrow. So I draw this one, not much long. And even the thickness, better to be not much thick, because we want to make it move to the stance. And we can draw one here. We can go with the grayish color, so a little bit white mixed with the black, just a tiny bit to make the gray color. And in between, we can add some line as a trees. Randomly, you can add. You don't have to force yourself there. Just draw a narrow line and make the trees. Like this. Even here. But it's better to be lighter than the main one you draw before, like the big one that we draw. I'm going with a lighter tone so far. And even when I go more into the stance, I'm going to add more light trees. So this is good. Now I move on one level lighter, like this color. And shorter. And you don't need to be worried about the thickness. It's tree trunk, so it can be a little bit thick or narrow, that's fine. But when you go to the center here, it's better being more lighter. Even you don't have to draw a full tree trunk. You can just draw a light line like that. It shows it's so like a fade background here. Move into the stems. Mystery more. Or randomly add some trees. Make it like a jungle. If you don't like it, just bring it back with the white color. You don't have to add more paint here on the center to make the trees. A little bit black, very less, mix with it. It helps the red get warmer and even darker. And it's fine if we need more to separate the part of umbrella, we will do it by just the black. So with the same brush, I clean it, wipe it with napkin, and then I'm going to start with the black because this is black that shaped the lady. So just pure black. You can imagine where you would like to have your figure. I'm going to start from here. Draw just nice figure like that. Come down a little bit to shape the raincoat like this way. I move on from top to bottom to show that this is the wind that help it move toward left. A little separate the top part and move more. That's fine. And now I place the foot like here with the side of the brush and make it a little liney. It shows that connect two foot together. A little bit fat on top, more narrow on the bottom part, and then I will fade it here and disappear. Then clean the brush with napkin and then start with the red color. Try to draw the shape of umbrella because we have to imagine that this is like an angle, and I have to show 1, 2, 3 here. I first draw this gentle curve to show the shape of umbrella like that. That's easier to help me shape the big curve on top. And then add the color and tone here. And always you can fix the shape that you draw. Like make it a little bit longer or shorter. Anyway, actually we can always fix it. And I would like to divide with the pure black. Draw 1 line here, 2 line here to separate the umbrella. Because umbrella has different different division. But I don't like to draw the line in black. I try to make it a little fade. Move it to go to the rest of the color that I have. You see, because it's wet, everything is wet. And I can add more even red here on top and let it blend together. It gets really thick, but that's nice. It's better than be clean with the red and black and separate with just a line. My paint is finished, so I make more. And then take with the brush, as I mentioned, with this pointy part of the brush, easily I try to shape. You see, I turn my brush everywhere. I just play with my brush. Even with the side, even with the belly of the brush, I take more here and try easily shape it like that. Even thick paint, less thick paint, or randomly I just go with the brush stroke. Even this tree trunk was wet, so I used those black as well. It made my gray darker, so that's nice. Even if you want to make mystery, you don't need to make it really heavy paint and when you touch, feel it. You can just blend it, let it go to the background just like that. And this happened randomly. Just play with your brush stroke, tip of brush, move it, turn it in your hand. You see, I just turn my brush. We need to be friends with our brush, actually. Just play with it and see what happens. Sometimes when you do something by accident, it gets really good result. Show you very nice result. Just with accident. And I go with gray. If I want to change it to the red, because we have some red on top, I will do on top. So a little bit more here, I'm going to add leaf. If I want to help it disappear, just very gently touch it like that. Make it mystery to the stance fade. Just touch it gently. And we can call this gently touch and this brush stroke, we can call dry brush stroke. There is not much paint on my brush, but very gently I try to touch it and let it move into background. So it's like a dry brush moving the dry canvas. So that's enough. I don't want to make it busy as much or overwork. A little bit can come down just a bit. Make some leaves here, just a little bit. That's enough. And now we can add the red color. Even if you don't like the same brush, we can go with another one. I can go the same with another brush. Doesn't matter, be small or big. I go with another one. I'm going with this red color. Mix red with a little bit black. Take some, not everywhere, a little bit. We need to bring here on top. That's nice when you bring red color on top of the blacky grayish color. It's so interesting. Not much, a little bit on the left and right side. And this happened randomly. Add some brush stroke. I'm using some brush stroke. It doesn't matter, just the pointy part or the belly part of the brush. Randomly add some as a leaf, like this. I'm going to add a little bit. If your paint is ready, would be great. If not, please mix a little bit red with black to reach this value. And for the pinky tone here, the same color, take a little bit here, bring it aside. Use a tiny white, mix with that to make it lighter. We need this dull pink because it already has black and red. When you mix red with white, already you can reach pink. But when we mix red and black, then mix with the pink, but then mix with the white, we can reach the dull pink. And then we have light and dark gray. So just take the brush. I'm going to work on gray color first. So start with this gray, a little bit make it darker. So we need more black mixed with that. And I'm going to, the same technique that I add on top, I'm going to add on the bottom part here. Just add a little bit like a brush stroke, make it mystery with some bushes. You can hide the tree trunk a little, or bring it like leaves around the trees here. Just randomly, not much. But that would be enough. Even when you come closer here, if you see that's too dark, we can add a little lighter gray on top. So back and forth with light and dark gray and make it interesting, because the center is not much dark. Because of that, I can work with three different grayish color I have. And then I work on the center first. Try to hide the foot like that. Randomly work a little back and forth with more brush stroke to show that this is the watery road. When the rain is coming, it shows that it's watering like that. So we can work on different value of the gray, just back and forth. Make it interesting for this movement, even with the dark. Just go and imagine we want to randomly bring some reflection of the trees. So take gray. On the other side, just add some line like that. And all this happen randomly. You don't have to think about the specific line. Just imagine here a little bit, draw the line here. And it's not really the complete from top to bottom. It can be broken line. Like this. Like that. It can be gray or it can be a little bit black. I just make it busy. But for this big one, I see that because it's too close and it's big. From here, it's exactly here. I try to draw just a thick, dark color. And it's not really bright. And I try to help it mix with the rest because it's reflection. It's not the real trees. Even for this one, I can do the same. Like that. And now here for the lady. Under the foot, I try to draw the gray. Then, like zigzaggy line, try to shape it, look like the lady randomly. It doesn't need to be exactly the same shape. Just a little dark color, back and forth. It's already show the reflection of the lady here. Take heavy paint. I try to edge a little bit on this side. For this, like a grass that leaves on top of it for the road. I try to make a little bit darker line under it randomly with the black, even under this part, to make it separate from the rest. Both sides we can do that. I can make it heavy here. And you see I go with the heavy paint. On the right side is not much, a little bit more on the left side we have. Here, okay. And then wipe the brush. Take this red color that you add black inside and randomly like this add here on top. Even you can go with thick paint, leave it like this to be visible. I try to make it be visible. I really use thick paint. And like leaves that cover the ground, you can do the same. Small brush stroke, even if it mixed with a little bit black would be okay. Shape it like that. It doesn't need to be perfect. Even you can go with the pure red color on top and add some brush stroke with thick red color. But if you work really thick, it needs more paint to add because it makes some texture. And when it gets dry, you can even feel and touch this texture. So you need use really more heavy paint. So take more red, more black, mix with it. and take more. When you're close to the edge of the canvas or the end of the canvas, the bottom part, it's okay to use a really thick paint because it's close. But when you go further, it's okay to leave it fade to the background and not much thick.